What does this entail? Management. Management simply here entails knowing where you are going, knowing what it takes to get there, committing yourself to getting there, and going the extra mile if it so demands to get there. Let me come again. Management of self here connotes knowing where you are going, knowing what it takes to get there, committing yourself to getting there, and going the extra mile if it so demands to get there. Management of self. It's not about drawing a schedule on when to play golf, when to play lawn tennis. That's not what I'm talking about. Because until your field is defined, your leadership potential can never have expression. There are many people operating in undefined field. Undefined. They are this now, next week they have jumped to that, the other week they have moved to this, and so they are jack of all trades. One road does not lead to the market, that's their concept. So they go through all the roads. And when you are traveling more than one road per time, you never get anywhere. You go here small, you come back, you go here small, you come back, you go here, come back. So that's what management of self entails. First, a discovery of your field, which is a task on its own. How many agree with that? Not just a discovery, but a discovery and a commitment to abide in your field. You say, I've been doing this stupid thing I'm doing 28 years. Amen. And that's the only thing I've been doing 28 years. Nothing else has had any attraction to me. And many people go through their life without ever knowing where they are going. They are just going every waking morning to another job, and the following day another job, another advert, another job, and they go jobbing and jobbing and jobbing and arriving nowhere. You are a creature of dignity. He said, I know my plans for you, says God. The plans of welfare are not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. So it's important to settle down and discover your place in that master plan. It's a glorious plan. Jeremiah 29:11. It's a glorious plan. It's a glorious plan. To discover it and abide in it takes a lot of discipline. Takes what? A lot of discipline. To discover it and abide in there takes a lot of discipline. When our church was still under 50 people, I said one day in one of the meetings, I said, I will consider it a demotion if I were invited to President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will consider it a demotion. Church was under 50. But I was so sure of my field that I will not sell off for anything. My birthright is precious to me. My future is in his plan, not in my plan. Somebody here know what I'm talking about. Today I've had the privilege of presidents of nations knocking on my door for attention, not for arrest. I've had the privilege of resolving major issues between government and oppositions in my house on their request. I've never been a party till I die. It's so important for each one of us to know you are not a creature of chance. You are a creature of destiny. There is something about your life that is awaiting your discovery. You need to know where you belong and abide there. Then knowing what it takes to get there is a greater task. Come on, say greater task. Knowing what it takes to get there is a greater task. Many know where they are going, but they don't know what it takes to get there. So they are always on the same spot because they don't know what it takes to get there. No matter how costly a vehicle, it can never generate motion without fuel. Information is the fuel of every vision. Every vision that is void of information will culminate in frustrations. Knowing what it takes to get there is a greater task. Knowing where you are going is a great task. Knowing what it takes to get there is a greater task. Because there's nothing more frustrating than knowing where you are going and not being able to get there. And I think the bankruptcy of many destinies is rooted in intellectual bankruptcy. Inability to be able to appraise the facts relating to the task that they are confronted with. And then committing yourself to get there. It's one thing to know what it takes. It's another thing to be willing to pay the price. Seest thou a man that is diligent in his business, that is committed to his business, that is fully engaged in his business? He shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before mean men. Proverbs 22 verse 29. It is input that defines output in any field. How much you put in will determine how much you can get out. Management of self. Committing yourself to getting there and then going the extra mile if it so demands to get there. That equals sacrifice. That equals what? So in the concept of management of self, we talk about vision, knowing where you are going. We talk about information, knowing what it takes to get there. We talk about diligence, giving it what it takes to get there. And we talk about sacrifice, going the extra mile if it so demands, like it will always demand to get there. Paul the Great said, I'm what I am by the grace of God, yet not I. He said, but I labored more abundantly than them all, yet not I, but the grace of God that was with me. I labored more abundantly than them all. Say with me, labor. It is the quality of your labor that defines the limits of your future. The quality of your labor is what defines the limits of your future. And only those who care to go the extra mile command the extraordinary results. There is nothing extraordinary on its own, but by man's extraordinary input. Because like begets like. Your extraordinary input in your field qualifies you for extraordinary performance. And it's your performance rating that defines your leadership rating. It's our performance. So leadership is not in having responsibility. Leadership is in taking responsibility. Amen. It's in taking responsibility. If someone preaching as simple a message as Billy Graham has been preaching for over 60 years could become a world-class leader by a simple message that will tell you the extraordinary input, the quality of his self-management. Somebody hearing what I'm saying? The quality of his self-discipline. Simple message. I don't think he's ever prayed for the sick in his crusade forever. You need to be saved. Come on here now, right now. I've been doing this 50 years. Come. And then the ones who are saved 1940 are still there giving testimonies. So you can make anything extraordinary out of your ordinary mandate. You can make anything extraordinary out of your own ordinary field. You can make anything extraordinary out of your own ordinary calling. You can make anything extraordinary. That tells you, therefore, that the overemphasis on vision is great, but it's not the whole truth. If it is only vision, I saw one for 18 hours. I should go and rest. 18 straight hours, open eye vision. Not that you slept and then somebody spoke to you. I was awake. We were speaking to each other. If destiny answers to vision, I should be the most relaxed person in the world. God spoke to me and I spoke to him 18 hours at a go. Thank God for visions. I wish vision were just what guarantees you arrive at your destination. Oh, everybody will be there. It's more than that. That's why I said leadership is a product of efficient management of self, then efficient management of task. That's where skill development comes in. Come on, say skill. Efficient management of task. There are people in businesses here who perhaps have never read any literature regarding their business in their life. They are running it on common sense platform. So they end up with common results and in a common place. And so they call them common man. You know, people are always fighting about the common man, the common man. There are many common men because it's a lot of cost to get out of the common man level. So it's a lot of cost. Skill. Management of task is essentially a function of quality of skill at your disposal. Come and say skill. Now, you won't be surprised that there are people today in ministry who may not be able to define what is ministry. Talk less of how does it run. So, people are building factories today without knowing next to nothing. They just have money and then they think the next thing to do is to build a factory, a pharmaceutical factory. He has no idea of any kind on how it is to be built and what is to be done, and he wants to make a mark there. Particularly among our own part of the world, our race, there is no genuine value for skill. We leave issues to chances. And then religiously, I know God will do it. God will do what? Did he wear your clothes for you this morning? He said, God, I thank you. Now I just came back from the meeting last night. And I love you, so wear my clothes for me. You walk down here naked this morning.